All right, so now we're going to do the American Medical Supply account. There's several different call types for this account. A lot of times people will ask to speak to Tim. You can always get their name and number and then just simply ask, is there something I can help you with today? Because they think that because they spoke to Tim in the past, that's the only person they can speak to place an order, and that's not the case. That's what we're here for. These other people, they really never really ask for them, but if they do, just take a message. If the caller asks for Tim because they want the status of the order, you can take a message for that as well. But when it comes to taking orders, which is the most of what we're going to do, or explaining product information, you should always have their website up so that you can look up product information. I like to use the search bar on their website a lot. I'll take a keyword, like if they say that they're looking for batteries for a specific defibrillator, which is the most of what we sell is defibrillators and parts for them, and they happen to mention it's a heart start, I'll put in heart start, and if I just put heart start, it'll show me just about all of their inventory for that brand. And now we're looking for the battery that'll match their model. There is information on the account that will help you with the different brands that we carry and what parts may go to them. So if you go to the info pages and go to the info page called What Goes With What, you'll see that most of the major brands and their parts are listed here. So you can always copy and paste the specific item number, or item name rather. A lot of times people that call know their part number. You can also put that in the search engine. Keep in mind that less is more when searching keywords on any website for any account. The less words you put, try to use the better your chances of generating the list that has that item will be. So try to find what the keyword would be. In this case, you'll see that the trainer units come up when I copied and pasted it, and depending on which one the caller needs, you'll know the name and even the part number. You'll see it right underneath in gray. And that part number is probably your best bet when it comes to pulling it up in the Ultra Cart, which is where we place orders for them. If you go to the info page for UltraCart, it will tell you the login information so that you know how to enter in the username and password for UltraCart, which is their back-end system. I have it here ready to go. So this is what it will look like. You'll put in the merchant ID, the login name and password, and click on Login. Once you're in the system, you want to go over to the left-hand panel to the Operations menu. And under the Operations menu, you're going to select Order Management to enter orders in. You can also view orders and view order statuses here. The only time that you take a message for it, like I had explained earlier, is when you don't find information or you don't see the tracking number for the order there. Then you would send a message to Tim. Keep in mind that when you are sending a message to Tim about an order status that you were unable to pull up, you want to tell him down here in the comments box that you looked up the customer's order and there is no status update in UltraCart. That way he knows you already did that. And then you say, please call customer with the order status. Back to UltraCart. So let's just pick anything from the website that we want to say the caller's placing an order. We'll go with the ZOLL, which is Zoll AED plus Trainer 2, and I copied the part number from here because I know that UltraCart will easily find things by part number, and I'm going to manually add an order. So here you're going to put in the caller's name, company name. Always make sure that you verify information as soon as the caller says it so that you don't forget by the end of the call to verify spelling, especially when it comes to emails. They're not going to get their order confirmation email if you misspelled the email address. So try to do it phonetically each time for any account, especially when taking orders. And then you also want to verify whether or not their billing and shipping information is the same. A lot of the callers for American Medical Supply are calling from a hospital or maybe a senior citizen's home, places that would typically use a heart monitor or need to buy a battery for their heart monitor or any part. And maybe it's for their second location, or maybe they're a chain hospital and only one office is in charge of ordering, so all billing goes to one address and all shipping will differ each time they place an order. So make sure that the billing and address information is correct. You want the billing address to match the address to the credit card and the shipping address to match wherever we're shipping to. Same with the name of who it's going to or possible department. So you want to be clear on that. So when it comes to this top part of UltraCart, you're putting in name, address, email addresses, same with shipping. This bottom part here, after email, you can forget about CC email, gift email, and sales rep code. Those aren't things that we use. Now, because we normally place orders for companies or other businesses, if it is going to someone's home, you do want to check off here that it's a residential address. If it's not, you just leave it blank if it is going to some sort of business or establishment. And then you're ready to add your items to cart. So I already copied the part number from the website, and when I paste it here, UltraCart automatically populates the item. So you just click on it to select. Now you want to say how many you want. Let's just say this caller wanted one, and you click on Add. There's your item. If they need anything else, you just repeat your first step. One thing that you want to remember when it comes to working with back-end systems and entering orders on several of our accounts, the shipping is not added automatically. So you want to find the calculate button and calculate the shipping. In this case, it's not going to be able to give me an exact number because I actually did not put an address, and shipping is based on weight and distance. However, it does give me some options here that are general pricing information based on this weight of this item. And you would go with whatever the caller chose. You want to ask these questions while they're on the phone because you don't know if they need it in 2 days. Maybe they need it expedited, in which case you would select FedEx today. If they wanted to go ground, you would select ground. Sometimes the caller's only calling for a quote right now, and in those cases you can put in shipping to be determined because for right now you're not actually creating the order, you're just sending them a quote so they can get approval from whoever handles the financing at their company. I'll show you how to mark the order a quote only so that they're not actually billed, but you can collect the rest of the information. These custom fields area, you can ignore that. We don't actually use that. You're going to jump to this area here. If they have any codes, sometimes they do, you would enter in their coupon code here. They're already entered in there. You would just select which one they told you about and click on Add to apply it. I'll go ahead and select this EMS 10 and add it to the order. You'll see here where the discount was applied to the order. You'll see that shipping, even though I put to be determined, is now there as well. Once you make sure that all of your pricing is in your summary, you're going to go down here to the area where it shows you the payment types. Now, if this is a quote only that the caller already expressed that they needed in order to get approval from their financing department, you can go ahead and select quote. The expiration date you can always do for a week from the date of the call. In this case, today's July 24th, so I'm going to select a week from the 24th, which is the 31st. You're going to send quote immediately, so do put a check mark in there. And when you click on process quote, the system will generate an order number for this quote, and it'll be up here. All orders and quotes start with the word radar, and then a series of about a dozen numbers. You would then copy that number and place it here in your TA form so that Tim knows which quote or order number you just created for someone. And here you would have put the name, company, phone, and email, which you captured in UltraCart and can just copy and paste it over into TA. Another thing is these miscellaneous fields. I skipped over it before, but we don't really use these, so you can just ignore that area. So if this was an order, not a quote, you would select the payment method, enter the payment information, and then process the order. Same thing will happen. It will bring you to a new page where the order number that starts with radar would be at the very top. You would just copy and paste that over into TA. The other types of calls besides orders and quotes that you would get for American Medical Supply is product information. A lot of times people know the type of defibrillator they have. They don't know what battery goes with that defibrillator. So if you didn't find it in our info page, what goes with what, you can just put in the name of the defibrillator so that you can get a list, and maybe something on the list will stick out, like the caller said they have the Zoll AED Plus. If this was a Zoll AED Plus battery that they were looking for, you can try putting in Zoll AED Plus battery in search. And batteries for that unit will generate. You then confirm with the caller that you have the right one, or the right, excuse me, that you're looking at the right part number. Here's a battery for one. I just came across one, the lithium battery pack. And you can ask them questions or characteristics about the battery. Is your battery the Zoll AED rechargeable? Does it have a green sticker? Sometimes it doesn't. Maybe it's the same item, but they've changed the packaging, so maybe the sticker is not the same. But, try to just ask them questions to make sure you have the right item for them before you add it to UltraCart. If they're absolutely not sure, ask in Skype chat. A lot of times we do know the answer to it, especially those of us who've been here for a while. And, your last resort is to try Tim. You can just try giving him a call and quickly asking him, hey, I have a caller who with a Zoll AED Plus, but they're not really sure which battery goes with it. I was hoping you could let me know. Now, you do want to use Tim as a last resort because he is usually very busy and doesn't really have time to talk to us too much, but you don't, if that is your last resort, you don't want to not try him. There's another trick that I have that I use from time to time when I don't remember the answer to something. There's a website that has a chat bot on the bottom right-hand side of their screen. And when you ask them questions, they're pretty quick to answer because they want to kind of encourage you to order from their site. And that website is AED.com. So if you go to AED.com and you ask the chatbot the question, you'll get the answer to which battery goes with the Zoll AED Plus. And anything else that you may need to know about that battery, you can get an answer here. Now, this web address is not on the account because it's not affiliated with American Medical Supply, which is our client. AED.com is more of a general site with parts and defibrillators. They sell them themselves. But if you need the quick help and no one's helping in chat and Tim wasn't available, rather than lose the sale, give this a shot too. So, can you tell me which battery goes with the Zoll AED Plus? And we'll wait for the answer. What they usually do is provide you with a link to the product on their page because that would make sense for you to click and buy it from them. You just really want to get the information on that part and go back to UltraCart and try to find it for our client because the name is going to be the same. The part number may not, but usually it is too. Hopefully they'll answer quick enough, otherwise we'll move on. In the meantime, let me minimize it and go back to their website where I want to show you different things. They have a menu to shop by brand. As the caller mentioned, it was a Medtronic. You can go to the defibrillators or accessories for it. You'll find your parts there as well. Same with any other brand. Cardiac Signs is a very popular brand. If we go to their accessories, you'll see that it'll generate the batteries, the electrode pads, When the caller expresses that what they need is a battery, chances are that they also need the adult or pediatric electrode pads. They usually expire around the same time, so to encourage the customer to buy them all now, you can say, well, if your battery is expired, I imagine that you need the electrode pads. Sometimes it could be a children's hospital, so they don't need the adult, but they may need the pediatric electrode pads, and you can ask them if they do, and when you see it, you can copy and paste the part number, because we're back on Tim's site, so this part number will match a part in UltraCart, and you add it. Always make sure that you ask about quantity. If they need pads, they may want 1 or 2, and the more the merrier when it comes to placing orders. Our AD person is being slow today, but that is typically where I get my answers when I can't find them in chat, on the website, or Tim is unavailable. Excuse me. So here, I'll add 1 electrode pad also to this order. And now that I've changed it, I should recalculate shipping because I just changed the weight of the order. And if it generates the same pricing, great. If not, remind the caller that shipping is now whatever new price may have generated. It's not generating a price because I didn't actually put in an address here, so it's just giving me general. That's why it didn't change now when I added an item. But that's how you would find parts as well, by going through their menu and checking accessories for that particular brand. And remember that whenever they call for pads, ask them if they also need a battery replacement since they expire around the same time. And same with if they're getting batteries, you ask them if they need electrode pads. That's pretty much your number 1 cross-selling point when it comes to American Medical Supply, because their inventory is mostly defibrillators and parts for those defibrillators. On rare occasion, you'll get people who are buying the actual unit. Let's just go to Philips. You can narrow it down by choosing just Philips defibrillators. I don't want to see the parts. I want to see the actual heart monitors. And here they are. There's a variety of them. You should review their website just to see, what each defibrillator comes with, what they're used for, because it's always important to be informed about the product line that each account services or whatever they sell or whatever they service. You want to be well informed. You don't want to sound like you're searching for answers on a screen. So in between calls or after work, you can always browse the accounts just so that you're more familiar with not only how to navigate their site but everything that they sell. Natalie, do you have any questions about American Medical Supply or parts or how to place orders in UltraCart?
At the moment, I do not have any questions.
Okay. All right. So that's how to navigate their website. You can also shop by categories because it's not just defibrillators and parts for defibrillators. They also have cabinets where that hospitals or medical facilities or senior citizens' homes carry. I'm sure everybody has seen something like this whenever visiting a hospital. So we do sell other things. You can browse through their different categories so that you know what else they carry. I would say that of their accessories, other than defibrillators and parts for them, they sell a lot of the cabinets. So you do get familiar with those. The first aid and trauma kits are also a big seller, survival kits. A lot of times people are Googling things online, and they may call you and ask you if you have a diabetes glucose a meter machine, a reader machine, things like that. We don't carry those things, but to double check, use the keyword. Do we have anything for diabetes? No, we don't. Okay, to be safe, you can always double check in chat. Destiny or I or anybody that's been here for a while will be able to let you know whether that's something they know Tim sells or not. But your best bet is the search engine, and try to use as least words as possible. Try to use the word that would describe what the caller needs the best. I've had people ask if we carry crutches. I'm just going to put in crutch and see. Nope, we don't carry that either. Another thing that we do carry, and I found that out because a caller called in and asked whether or not we had anything for CPAP. We do. We carry the tubing for it. We have the bacteria filter for it. We have the meter. We also have the chin strap, which is what I've mostly sold when being asked. So again, familiarizing yourself with the product line by just going up to the top and clicking on each category, seeing what else they have, survival kits, because someone may be Googling the word buy survival kits. And yes, we do sell that. So you would just go here and take a look at the product, ask them if that's what they want, just to confirm, and get the caller's order. Now, when it comes to a customer that found us online, those orders, you can place them right on the website. Sometimes they want to place it on the website themselves. At least try to capture their name, phone number, and email, and just let them know they just wanted to make sure that we do sell this and that it would ship right away, but they were looking to place the order on their own online.
In TA, is that an option, like caller just called to inquire?
No, so something like that, what you would do is select other, because it's not something that was specific. And then what you do is at the bottom, you just tell Tim, after you've put in the phone number, name, and email address, caller was looking for a chin strap for their CPAP. I walked them through finding it online and offered to place the order for the caller, but they preferred to order themselves. Now, Tim is probably going to look for the rest of the day to see if that caller placed the order or not, and now that he has their email address, because you'll have captured it at the beginning of the call, he can always follow up with that person and say, I know that you called in today. Are you still interested in the chin strap for your CPAP? And send them a link to how they can order it. Maybe that person got busy and they got another phone call, but because we were thorough and collected the email address, Tim has a way to follow up with that caller. So that's how you would do that, just like any other call that's not pertaining to a sale. Anything pertaining to a sale or that they ask for Tim directly, you can select Tim and just put in name, phone number, email, order number, and that's pretty much it. And, of course, detail your message so he knows what happened on that call.